Good day, students. My name is Mrs. N M Obulamah, and I'll be taking you on the course titled Principles and Practice of Agricultural Extension and Rural Sociology, AEE 211. Here are the course contents for the course. First, we are going to be looking at the meaning, goals, philosophy, and functions of agricultural extension. We will also be looking at the principles of agricultural extension, history of agricultural extension in the world and in Nigeria, the institutional settings of agricultural extension, basic concepts and principles of rural sociology, leadership structures in rural communities, social change in rural areas and social institutions, communication techniques and strategy of change, and finally, extension teaching methods, teaching aids, and their uses. We are going to start with the first content, which is the meaning, goals, philosophy, and functions of agricultural extension. What is agricultural extension? Agricultural extension is a term that is open to a wide variety of interpretations. There is no single definition of extension which is universally accepted or that is applicable to all situations. But generally, extension is defined as an informal education process that is directed towards the rural farm families, which offers advice and information to help them solve their farm production problems so as to improve their livelihood or standard of living. We have various definitions of agricultural extension, and some of these definitions include: 1. Extension is a process of working with rural people in order to improve their livelihood. This involves helping farmers to improve the productivity of their agriculture and also developing their abilities to direct their own future development. Another definition of agricultural extension says agricultural extension is an informal out of school system of education. It's not a formal system of education as ours. It is an informal out of school system of education that is designed to help rural people to satisfy their needs, interests, and desires. It is a system of education that involves adult learners, who are the farmers. Then another definition refers agricultural extension as a process of disseminating agricultural information, that is new improved technologies, to the rural farmers, and not only disseminating of the information but motivating them to apply and use such information in their farming system in order to improve their farm productivity and standard of living. So that is the meaning of agricultural extension. Now we are going to be looking at the goals and objectives of agricultural extension. The primary goal of agricultural extension is to improve the livelihood or the living standard of farmers through increased productivity of their means of livelihood, which is farming. And the specific objectives to achieve these goals are as follows. 1. To disseminate useful and practical information relating to agriculture to farmers. Underline the word useful and practical information. That is information that will be helpful, that will be beneficial to the farmers. 2. To increase the efficiency of the family farm, leading to increased level of production and high standard of living of the farm families. 3. To change farmers' outlook towards their difficulties. That is, to change their perception towards their problem by proffering possible solutions to address their problem so as to boost their agricultural production. Objective number 4, to ensure practical application of modern agricultural information, knowledge, and technologies to the farmers. And finally, to ultimately improve all aspects of life of rural people for development. Then we'll look at the philosophy of agricultural extension. Philosophy is a body of principles governing human operations. A philosophy of extension is essentially an understanding of the ideas which extension workers hold about rural people and rural environments that is shaped by professional upbringing. So this philosophy helps an extension agent, it guides an extension agent on how to understand the rural people and their rural environments, and it guides them on how to go about meeting farmers. Then some basic elements of extension philosophies are: 1. Extension is an educational activity that should lead to change in behavior. That's in terms of knowledge, skills, and attitude. So one of the basic elements that an extension agent should have in mind is that an extension work should be such that will lead to change in attitude of the farmers and will bring about increased knowledge and skills in their operations. 2. Rural people are intelligent, capable, and desirous of making use of information that will make them more effective. Farmers are very knowledgeable of their local environment and are rational in their decision-making process. Extension should use all available resources to address the felt needs and unfelt needs of the farmers. Rural people are important and must be treated with dignity and respect. So these are some of the elements of extension philosophy that guides an extension agent on how to discharge his duties and how to carry farmers along in the course of discharging his duties. Then functions of agricultural extension. What are the functions of agricultural extension? What are the work of agricultural extension? Essentially, agricultural extension is an educational service that is aimed at teaching all categories of farm people, both men, women, and youths. An extension does not discriminate. It works with men, women, and youth to solve their agricultural production problems through application of scientific knowledge. Some of the basic functions of agricultural extension include: 1. Extension provides learning experiences that enable farmers to acquire knowledge, skills, and abilities that will help them produce farm products more effectively and efficiently. 2. It provides motivation that will lead to change in behavior and attitude among farmers. 3. Extension helps to accelerate the adoption and diffusion of technical innovation that will enhance farmers' agricultural production. Here, extension agents also has the responsibility of influencing and motivating farmers on the need to adopt innovations in agriculture. And he should try all possible ways to convince the farmers and make them see reasons why they should accept the new technologies over the existing ones. Number three, extension helps to accelerate the adoption and diffusion of technical innovations. Number four, it serves as an intermediary between farmers and research institutes and other rural development agencies. The work of an extension doesn't stop at taking improved agricultural technologies to farmers alone, but it also has to do with linking farmers and research institute. That is, taking the problems of the farmers to the research institute and getting a solution from the research institute back to the farmers. It also takes farmers' view and opinion about a particular technology, an outcome of a particular technology to the research institute, for a research institute to make necessary adjustments or need for further research. 5. Extension helps to train local leadership among farming communities. 6. It also provides managerial and technical training to farmers. After providing farmers with improved information about technologies and innovations, the extension worker is also responsible for training farmers on how to use and apply such technology on their farms, because most of the farmers don't have the knowledge on how to go about this technology. It is the work of the extension to teach and train them how to go about applying those technologies on their farm. 7. Extension plays advocacy role by drawing the attention of government and donor agencies to the needs and problems of rural farmers. It also provides advisory services on improved nutrition, homemaking, child care, and overall family welfare. It ensures the conservation and wise use of natural resources to enhance sustainable agriculture. And finally, most farmers are not aware of sources of farm inputs, credit facilities, and even markets for their farm produce. It is also the work of an extension agent to help them to provide credible information on the sources of this vital production input. So here are some of the functions of agricultural extension. Then we'll be looking at the roles of the extension agent. Who is an extension agent? The whole work of an extension work is dependent upon the extension agent, who is the critical element in all extension activities. An extension agent is a public servant who work with communities and individuals to provide information about agriculture, natural resources, and other related topics. They are responsible for providing the information and knowledge that will enable farmers to understand and make decisions about a particular innovation. It is the extension agent that disseminates information on improved agricultural technologies to the farmers for adoption. Some major roles of an extension agent include: 1. Arousing farmers' interest about their problems and teach them how to overcome this problem. An extension agent motivates farmers, they encourage farmers, and they convince farmers to make them have interest to develop their interest towards solving their farm production problems. And they also help these farmers to overcome their problem. They teach them how to overcome their problem. They don't solve their problems for them, but they help them and teach them how to overcome their problems. Two, transforming farmers' attitude, behavior, and social organization. An extension agent makes farmers to see the reasons why they should leave their old method of farming to adopt and practice the new technology. So he helps in changing the farmers' attitude and their behaviors towards their farming activities. An extension agent also serves as a link between the farmers and the government. They help to take farmers' problems to the government for necessary possible solutions because they are the closest people to the farmers. So they know farmers' problems better than anyone else. And as such, they also play the role of taking farmers' problems to the government for possible solutions. 4. An extension agent sets in motion a process of change after realizing that certain change are necessary for the rural society. That is, they help in bringing about change to a community. When they know that the change will benefit that particular community. Then an extension agent also influences the innovation and decision-making process in a direction that is deemed desirable by the change agency. Then we're going to be looking at the qualities required of a good extension agent. What are those qualities that makes a good extension agent or that makes one to be qualified to be an extension agent? In order to help farmers improve their agricultural productivity and raise their income and standard of living, extension agent must possess certain personal and professional qualities that will enable them to succeed in their job. The professional qualities that is required of an extension worker are the main area of knowledge and professional qualities that is required of the extension agent, and they form the basis of extension training, which include 1. Qualification. An extension agent must possess a sound academic background with special training in agricultural extension. 2. Technical knowledge. The agent must be adequately trained in the technical aspect of his work and have a good working knowledge of the main elements of the agricultural system in which he is working with. The technical knowledge here is very key and vital because the work of an extension doesn't just stop at disseminating the innovative technologies. After the dissemination of the information, he is also responsible for training the farmers on how to apply such technologies. Then number 3, professional requirement, knowledge of the rural area. This includes sociological studies and anthropological studies of the rural areas which he is working with. This has to do with the extension agent having the knowledge of the local traditional practices of his clientele, their culture, values, and norms. When he's familiar with the knowledge of the rural life of the people, he'll be able to know how to handle these people and he'll be able to know how to go about his work without going contrary to their beliefs, norms, and values. Then government policies. The agent should be familiar with the main legislation of government or other institutional policies that affect rural areas, agriculture, credit programs, and administrative procedures. Then adult education. Since extension is an educational process that involves adult education, the agent should be familiar with the main approaches to adult education, group dynamics, and with other technical development for farmers' participation in extension activities. We also have professionalism, credibility, and professional commitment. They are all parts of the professional requirements of an extension agent. Then the personal qualities that is required of an extension agent are organization and planning. The extension agent should be able to plan extension work and organize its implementation, and also to manage effectively and control an extension office and its activities. Communication. An extension agent must above all be a communicator, both verbally and non-verbally. And this skill is the basis of all extension activities. Extension has to do with educating farmers, teaching farmers new improved technologies. So a good extension agent must be able to communicate well with his audience, to carry them along and to influence them about the new improved technologies that he has taken to them. Then leadership. The extension agent should inspire confidence and trust in the farmers he serves. He should set them an example and take the lead in initiating activities and work towards the set goals, which is to boost their agricultural production. So he should take a lead and carry them along while he is educating them. Other personal qualities that is required of an extension agent are initiative. The extension agent should the extension agent may often have to work in isolation and unsupervised. He must have the initiative and confidence to do so without depending upon guidance and support from his superiors. Commitment. He should be committed to his work, dedicated and determined to achieve success. Reliability. Both in terms of carrying out extension work and also in relation with farmers, his superior officers must be able to rely on him to carry out his tasks without close supervision. And the local farmers must also come to have confidence in his advice. When an extension agent knows what he is doing, the farmers will build confidence in him because they will be sure that the information that they are getting from him will be such that will benefit him, that will benefit them, and they will be confident in accepting such information. Then enthusiasm for the job. An extension agent should be such that has zeal and real urge to go into extension work. Physical fitness. It should be physically fit to cope with the work demand of an extension services. Empathy for the farmers, patience, understanding, and humility. An extension agent should have empathy for his clientele, who are the farmers. You should be patient with them and carry them along. He shouldn't be strict, and he shouldn't get angry unnecessarily. They are learners, so he should be gradual with them and take them along while educating them. Then confidence. He should be confident in his own ability and determination to achieve success and the goal of his work. Public speaking. A good extension agent must possess the natural ability to speak publicly and make efforts to improve his performance. So as a good extension agent, you should be able to speak in the public and carry your audience along. So we have come to the end of our lecture for this week. Thank you very much.